Alright, this is GetYourRockOut here. I'm here with ESO on their tour. So first of all, how's the tour going, guys?
Oh, amazingly well. Well, it's been quite
very
eventful.
interesting, fascinatingly, bizarre. Anything that can happen seems to be happening. Last night we had a gig, we got pulled up by the police outside the front. They tried to impound the band. And then just before we went on stage, it got shut down by the fire brigade. 3 fire trucks turned up. So that was interesting. And just now we've managed to drive into a car park which is too small and got the van stuck. Well, it's not bad, is it?
But at least we're here and we're set up.
Yeah.
About.
We just cut the thing off later. I don't know what we've yet, but we'll work it out.
We'll work it out, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Alright, well let's talk about the band. You used to be Esoterica. Tell us about the change that the band has gone through to get to where you are now.
Go on then, after you.
All right. Well, it's been quite a long. That's a long story in a way. But we've been around for a little while. We've done 2 albums. This is our 3rd album. Handy plug. And we've sort of recently kind of changed. We are this new album is quite a departure for us. Like I think with our last album, we sort of kind of reached a point where we were doing really well, and we headlined Shepherd's Bush Empire in London, and we'd been out on tour with Marilyn Manson. We'd done all this cool stuff, and we kind of, we sort of wanted, we found ourselves kind of going in a new direction, with like this new kind of, sound, and
I think that was sort of intentional though, because there's a big drive to find our own space and our own sound, and be more us. I suppose when you're a younger band, I always said with the first album, you kind of wear your heart on your sleeve and who you like and all the rest of it, your favourite bands, but we've matured enough that we know what sounds good, what doesn't, what works for us as a band, and by doing that, we've found our space.
yeah.
That's how I'd put it.
And I think it's gone amazingly well. I mean, we are, with this album, so far we've, for this year, we've sold out our first 3 headline shows of the year.
Yeah.
In fact, that's the first time this year that we actually completely sold out. One of our headline shows at home, and the venues are now getting bigger and bigger. And at the moment, what we're doing is we're coming out of town. We're kind of going a long way from home, sort of thing, trying to sort of do the same thing we've done in London outside of London.
Yeah,
so we're
just
starting
replicate it.
in kind of very intimate places like the one we're sat in now.
Build up.
And build up. So it's going really well. I can't believe the reaction to the new singles has been incredible, because they are a lot more keyboard orientated, and they're more kind of melodic and all that kind of stuff. So it's been amazing. It's been really good.
Awesome.
And they're getting good airplay in that as well, so which is all just a giggle, isn't it?
Yeah. Alright, well talking about the new album, you've said that British rock is long overdue a shake-up. How does this album achieve that?
Just different.
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, like, these days, rock has kind of been slightly marginalised, and I think it's kind of, in the 80s it was a big thing, and it's kind of got smaller and smaller and smaller, and there's kind of a bit of this new metal stuff going on in the 90s and stuff, but, in the 2000s it's very much about your David Guetta and your, whatever, I don't know, Lady Gaga and stuff like that. And so I suppose, for us, it's about taking, rock music as we kind of do it, our brand of rock music, if you like, but making it current and making it relevant today.
Well, it's trying to make something as modern as possible, i.e. also looking towards the future. Because the thing is, and like rock kind of became a bit of a dinosaur, which is a bit of a, I love it, don't get me wrong, I've got so many bands I love, and yet I can see how, since like it was just sort of like almost you reach a stopping point, don't you? Certain bands come out, they change things a bit, and then it all stops. And I think if you do that, you're only on the decline. And so what I'd really like to see, and it's not that we're going to do it, but I'd really like to see the rock industry just, like, metal industry grab itself and just go, come on, like, let's sort this out, let's get on, because I can't understand. I saw that rant with Billy Joe, and he was pissed off because he had like 1 minute left on his set or whatever, and they're basically kicking him off, and he, for a pop artist, and he's been around longer and done more stuff, and you're looking at him, you think the guy's got a point, you know, he has got a point. And yet, in truth, you know, they are just going for what is the biggest seller at the time.
But I mean, in answer to your question, like with this album, we've kind of got elements of, you know, very modern stuff, like, you know, we've kind of got little bits of dubstep, and we've got bits of like really modern kind of keyboards. We've worked with like Hollywood composers. We kind of tried to blend a whole load of what I would call like current day kind of big sounds, you know, and blend that with rock. I mean, I think one of the things that like Korn did recently is they did a kind of very much a dubstep album, you know, and this is not that. This is like very much rock music, but how it should, to us, how it should sound today.
Yeah,
you know,
a bit more.
If rock had evolved, if you like, you know.
But the great thing as well, we have stayed true to our roots, you know, and also we've used people like, you know, Mike from Devil Driver. We've used people who are like totally sort of almost completely down the other path, you know, like totally hardcore guys. And, you know, there's that real element of trying to blend those two things together, trying to...
It's meant to be more of an evolution than
a
kind of a hard...
Well, it's not, thing. You can never say you're at your finished point, because if you do, you're going to stagnate yourself. So...
We're always trying to change and move forward.
Yeah, exactly, develop.
Right. All right, well, let's talk about the new single, The Divide. The video tells a very interesting story. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Come on, man, it's cool.
Yeah, sure. So The Divide, it was directed by...
Delegating.
Sure. The Divide was directed by Tim Fox, who did you know, kind of a lot of breakthrough singles, you know, for like Young Guns and Skin Dread, and like kind of big rock artists that are kind of around today, kind of breaking through, perhaps, you know, some of the more traditional rock sort of thing. But you know, as a director, he's you know, a visionary. He's definitely got, you know, a certain style. And he had this idea for a long time, actually, about which he used for The Divide, which was about, you know, a person kind of you know, struggling, if you like, you know, perhaps mentally with themselves, and they've kind of got almost there's two choices, you know, in this guy's world, you know, and he can either sit and, you know, watch telly, or I suppose these days browse YouTube or Facebook or whatever and just be kind of like, you know, stuck in his chair, or he can try and, you know, break free from that and try and, you know, go out and do something, you know, and achieve something or whatever.
Which is pretty much what the song was about, which is so why when he sort of said, I've got this idea for a treatment, I've been knocking around for a while, it was like, that's just perfect. And it was just, you know, almost like he'd had it waiting for us for a while, you know. It was
but he did such a great job, and he was very passionate about it himself, because, you know, I think he'd emotionally invested in this idea himself, so yeah, it was amazing. We were really happy with it.
Cool. All right, well, the sound of The Divide is quite different from your previous single, We Are Watching You. Do you like variation, or is there one of those songs that represents you more than the other?
No, I think we do love variation. I think that's absolutely true. I think if you listen to the album, there's a song on there which is like tells a story. You know, it's a really fast song. You know, like a ghost story almost.
We've done a cartoon for the video for it. It looks wicked.
Absolutely. And there's like you know, so we've got that animated kind of thing. Then we've got like The Divide, which has got the dubstep elements. We Are Watching You, which is kind of more, I mean, we put that out as a first single because it was kind of a more of a gradual change from our previous album into this kind of, into the new stuff that we're doing. But it's still there's quite a lot of keyboard elements in there.
But I would say though, even if, like, our fans don't know, if you listen to our old albums, there's constantly been very different types of songs and very different types of stuff going on. So I don't think that will be any surprise to any of our fans at all. But I also think that it's the kind of thing that makes you not boring to listen to. There's some albums you get, and like they got, you know, a wicked track, and you listen to it, and all the other ones are just not quite.
I think you mustn't be scared of like upsetting people or alienating people or anything. I think for us it's about music, and there's definitely like a common feel to our music and to our thing. I think I'd compare it to nowhere near, you know, the sort of the grand scale, but Queen, you know, in the sense that, you know, they could do kind of almost like quirky, funny songs, and then like really emotional, sad songs, and then like big, epic, you know, kind of productions, you know, stuff. So
very different from Queen, but I know what you mean. Like, you could tell it was them, except it was always different. I know what you mean. Yeah, that's an interesting comparison. Okay.
But yeah, variety is definitely, you know, we like it because it keeps us interested as well, you know.
Yeah.
exploring different things. And I would like not to be restricted too much into, well, we must play, you know,
X.
you know, a pop song or a heavy metal song or whatever. You know, we give ourselves the freedom to explore what we want.
Just try whatever, yeah. Some stuff doesn't get on the album, some stuff does. Just how it goes, isn't it?
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what does the immediate future hold for you guys? Like once you finish this tour?
More tours. Definitely more tours. So we're trying to get tours. That will be the start of next year, I imagine.
Absolutely. So
then,
we're definitely going to do some more headline shows next year. But we also, I think, in the meantime, we're going to be doing some tour supports. You know, we're on quite a few lists and that kind of stuff. And immediately after this tour, we're going to do a few radio things. We've got some interviews and all that kind of stuff. So a bit more promotion left at the end of this year, and then straight back into touring probably start of next year. So it's going to next year particularly is going to be busy, and we're looking to get on some festivals and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be pretty manic. I mean, we did download a couple of years running, which was amazing. And so I mean, hopefully we'll get on that again this year or some year. Who knows? But you know.
But also, hopefully, we'll get more, you know, further around the world because, you know, quite frankly, we've done a few, you know, festivals all over, like played in all over Europe, and you know, I'd like to think this year we'll get a chance to go to Australia and New Zealand and maybe have a punt at, you know, some other places that I haven't been to. I haven't been to Japan yet. That'd be nice. You know, the East. Never done that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Australia.
yeah, that'd be nice. Who knows? We'll see.
Awesome. All right. And do you have a message right into the camera for all your fans who've been following you and any new fans you'll be picking up along the way?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the obvious thing is to say thank you so much for checking us out. Definitely, if you haven't got it already, get a copy of the album.
Yeah, because that helps us make another album.
But even if you don't do that, that's fine. But just come and check us out, you know, on all the Facebook stuff and our website and all that, and come down to a show if you haven't already. And thank you so much for supporting us in any way.
Actually, we've been really lucky in that respect. We've got a lot of really good fans, and you just, I don't know.
I mean, our London show again, another sold out one on Sunday, and there's someone flying over from Japan.
Yeah, someone there, yeah.
Which is bonkers.
But there's loads of people coming over from mainland Europe as well. It's really bizarre. It's only because we couldn't do a European one just at such short notice. It just didn't really work out. But again, we'll be heading out there at the start of next year, so which would be brilliant, you know. I know that we're going to have such a laugh. I just can't wait to get, you know, be touring. It's just the best way.
Outstanding. All right, thank you guys. ESO on tour now, new album out.
Yeah.
Good luck tonight, guys. I hope it's going to be a killer show.
Thanks.
Magic, thank you so much.